Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today I'm going to share my 10 best tips for keeping your Thanksgiving get-together as peaceful and stress-free as possible. Now, first, start by praying. Pray for peace over your gathering, pray for peace among the people who are attending, and pray for their safe travel as they come and go. Pray for God-filled hearts, and ask God for exactly what you want. You want dinner done on time, you want everybody to get along, and put God in it before you even started. That's my number one tip. And my second tip is a new one for me. You're not too old to learn new things. With an empty, clean dishwasher, load all your potatoes in it. Your sweet potatoes if you're doing sweet potato casserole, and we have a very good recipe for that. If you're doing sweet potato pie, we also have that recipe. Mashed potatoes, whatever you're using potatoes for, stick all them dirty taters in your dishwasher. Turn it on rinse, don't put any soap in it, and no heat dry, and let your dishwasher scrub all the taters for you. Save you a ton of time, and that's kind of what helps make it stress-free, is having enough time to get everything done, and that will certainly add a little time to what you have to get done. Now, while we're on side dishes like them sweet potato casseroles and stuff, we have lots of other side dishes for you. Green bean casserole, corn pudding, cornbread stuffing, or dressing. All those videos, we've got them up, and I will link them in the description of this. But dig out your crock pots, because you can make stuff in them, you can keep it warm in them, you can carry it to somebody else's house in a crock pot, and it doesn't take up a stove eye. You never have enough stove eyes on Christmas, so get your crock pots out. And even if you've got some of those little bitty cheapy ones, you know, like they sell around the holidays, you can usually get a 2-pack for $10, and they used to be even cheaper than that. Those are great for stuff like green beans. Put that stuff in it and keep it warm, and that way you've got a free stove eye. Or if you're making a side dish to take to somebody else, make it right in the crock pot and plug it in when you get there, and you don't have to try to get to the microwave or the stove to warm your side dish up. Relieve a lot of stress and a lot of pressure digging out your crock pots. Another big tip is when you have pies like this would have a top over it, and this is a lemon delight pie, 3-layer lemon delight pie, no bake. We're going to have that recipe coming up here in just a couple of days. If they have lids on them, great. If they don't, turn a plate upside down, like your pumpkin pies and your sweet potato pies and your pecan pies and all those. Put a plate upside down on the pie pan, and then you can stack them in your refrigerator. You just have a big old stack of pies in there. So all those, plate upside down, and you can stack another pie on top of it. Takes up way less room. I learned that several years ago, and boy, did it ever make life easier. I used to stack my pumpkin pies and squish them, but you know, live and learn. Do not spend Thanksgiving alone. If you're a senior citizen and you live alone, every community has a senior center, and they will be serving dinner sometime. If you're younger, find a church. Every single church is going to be having dinners this time of year. And if you're in a church and they're not getting together and eating this time of year, you need to find another church, because them people ain't serious about fellowship, and they just ain't. I mean, that's part of church, is to have Christians to share your life with. So find a church and go to church. Even if you're a shut-in, if you get on the phone and you call people, you call churches, call the churches in your area and tell them you really need someone to stop by and spend a few hours and visit with you this holiday season. Most churches will send someone. They have volunteers, they have people on staff, and they'll come and sit with you for a while and bring you a plate. That's one of the things that churches do. Also, call your senior center. If there's a Meals on Wheels program near you, Those folks are wonderful, and they will bring your dinner in and sit down with you for a while, so you're not alone. If you don't drive, you can call the senior center or you can call the churches. A lot of them have buses, and they will come pick you up and take you there. So no matter what your situation is, don't spend it alone, because being alone during the holidays it's not good for our spirit. We need to be with other Christians to celebrate. So find some way to get with other people and praise God with other people and thank God with other people who are praising God and thanking God and worshiping God. Like I said, there's so many programs. Just invite a neighbor over if you don't want to go to a big gathering. You know, if a lot of folks live in retirement communities and stuff, find a neighbor that's not going anywhere to anybody's house for Thanksgiving and invite them over. Somebody you know. You don't want to invite a total stranger, but you know, you understand what I'm saying. Just find someone to spend Thanksgiving with. Make stuff ahead of time. You can make almost everything the day before. And a lot of stuff you can prep it the day before and then just put it in the oven on Thanksgiving Day. The sweet potato casserole, the green bean casserole, rolls you can make ahead of time and put them in the refrigerator and pull them out and bake them. And the rolls video we've got up is wonderful. They're great big fluffy rolls and everybody loves them. Put butter on them. Oh, need to do that. But make stuff ahead of time. And definitely your pies. You can make your pies a couple of days ahead of time. Even this no-bake pie, you can make it the day before. You don't have to get up and panic and try and make it. And it does need refrigerated for, I don't know, a couple hours before you slice it anyway. So pies you can all make at least the day before. Shop the sales and shop ahead of time. They've got sales going on already. They'll have sales going on all through Thanksgiving. Get all your stuff ahead of time. If you can save some money on your food, it takes some of the stress out. And don't skip the Dollar Tree when you're shopping for bargains. I mean, not everything in the Dollar Tree is a bargain, but like I got these graham cracker crusts in there for $1.25. That's half what they are in all the other grocery stores. The Dollar Tree also has the frozen non-dairy whipped topping for $1.25, the name brand stuff, or at least this one does. So you can get a lot of bargains in the Dollar Tree stuff cheaper than it is in the grocery store. Stuff like the dried onions and stuff, or fried onions, whatever, that go on the green bean casserole. They have those. They even had the condensed soups in there, and $1.25 is cheaper than they are in the grocery store. So check it out when you're getting ingredients. Don't skip it. Also, to save money, consider doing a potluck. You do the ham or the turkey, and we have up videos for those. A super simple roasted turkey, stress-free. You just kind of put it in the oven and forget about it. But anyway, you do the ham or the turkey and assign people to bring other stuff. But now you have to assign people to do that. You have to say, you bring the sweet potato casserole, you bring the green bean casserole, you bring the mashed potato. Because if you don't, everybody will bring the same thing. And while we're on assigning, assign some of the work. Even if you decide to cook all the dinner, you know, if you can afford it and you've got the energy to cook it all, assign people jobs before they get there. Because when it comes down to that minute, when you have to put it on the table, you're not going to be able to get everything done and on the table. So before people get there, assign somebody to get drinks ready. Assign somebody to set the table. Assign somebody to help you take stuff off of the stove and put it in bowls. And have all your bowls stacked up that you're going to serve it in, anything you're taking out of pots. A lot of times I just do a buffet over behind me there on the stove and have it on the stove and the countertop over there, because my table's not big enough and I leave it in the pots. So, you know, that's saves you some time, some energy, and some cleanup. But have those jobs assigned. Assign somebody to take care of the kids while you've got people in the kitchen helping you set stuff out. And assign cleanup jobs before they even get there. You're responsible for taking care of the leftovers. You're responsible for doing dishes. You're responsible for taking out the trash. You're responsible for taking care of the kids while everybody's helping clean up. So assign those jobs before you start your gathering. That way you're not trying to get them assigned while people are running around, and you turn around and you look and there ain't nobody in the kitchen but you. So get those jobs assigned ahead of time. Everybody knows what you expect of them, and they're not all saying, can I help you? Can I do anything to help? Can I help? Because when you're in that moment of trying to get everything on the table, you can't delegate that because there's already so much stress just trying to get everything done. So have it pre-assigned. That just takes all the stress out. Everybody knows what's expected of them. Make sure you get that turkey thawed out ahead of time. It takes like 5 days to thaw one out. If you don't thaw your turkey out ahead of time, you're going to be in for a lot of work on Thanksgiving morning, because you're going to have to thaw it under running water, and it's going to make a mess. And if you don't get it thawed, it's going to take longer to cook, and it's going to be tough as shoe leather. Cooking frozen meat makes it tough. You have to have it completely thawed out before you cook it. So get it in the refrigerator, put it in a bowl, a great big bowl or a great big pot or something in the refrigerator. Otherwise, you're going to have turkey dripping all over everything in your refrigerator. And if you made pies ahead of time and you put them in the refrigerator, your turkey's going to drip on them, and then your pies are going to be bad, and then it's just going to be a disaster. Does it sound like I'm speaking from experience here? And I want to take a break from this list and share one of our funniest Thanksgiving memories. It was the year after we built this house. All of Brett's family came over for Thanksgiving. I had a 25-pound turkey in the oven that wouldn't even fit in the oven. There was dishes piled up to here from Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, literally, they were up till you couldn't even hardly reach the top of them. And the turkey wasn't getting done. Somehow, Brett's mom came in to check on something, touched the element. You know, the old ovens had the element in the bottom of them. Touched the touched the element in the oven with an oven mitt, which probably had turkey grease on it. But it went up. I mean, there was flame shooting up out of it, and she started fanning it. So I grabbed it off of her hand and stuffed it in the mashed potato pot in the sink full of dirty dishes. We almost had a really big disaster. We already had a turkey that wasn't cooking, but I mean, she was running around the kitchen fanning that flaming oven mitt, screaming, and you know, she's about this high, so it was kind of funny. I'm sorry, Aunt, I won't pick on you, but she knows I love her. You know, you have to laugh about stuff like that. So if something like that happens, laugh about it. It's, you know, it made a memory. I will never forget that Thanksgiving. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Some more disposable stuff. Disposable plates, disposable pans, disposable everything. And I know some folks like to sit at a really nice table, and if you've got plenty of help and you've got a dishwasher or you've got plenty of help to clean it up, set a really pretty table. And I usually do use nice plates for dinner, but for the snacking and the dessert, I use the stuff that you throw away. And you can line pretty dishes with disposable stuff. Like I got these little pie pans that have Christmas trees on them. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they were super cheap. And even if I ended up leaving one of them somewhere, it wouldn't be a big deal. But if you're baking something, or not baking, making something in one of these little flimsy disposable pie pans, you can put it down in one of those and then you can carry it. And you don't have to worry about it breaking all the pieces. Or you could even put it in one of your pretty glass ones. You can line a really pretty casserole dish with a disposable aluminum pan and then wad it up and throw it away, and you don't have to clean it up. Also, if you're taking it to somebody else's house and you might be leaving before everybody's done eating, you don't have to worry about getting your dish back. You can just take the disposable one out of your pretty casserole dish, and then you can go home and you don't have to worry about grabbing food out of people's mouths or anything. The other thing about disposable stuff is make sure you have plenty of disposable containers on hand for people to take leftovers home, or tell people to bring some dishes to put leftovers in, you know, stuff with a lid, that way you're not sending out your good Tupperware or your good plastic containers, whatever. It's not Tupperware anymore. Us old people call every plastic container with a lid Tupperware, even them old butter bowls. But make sure you have plenty of disposable plastic dishes with lids that you can send leftovers home to people, because people are going to want to take leftovers home, and you're only going to have so much room in your refrigerator. The Dream Whip stuff, which is what we use for this pie here, that's a good space saver. I mean, this is kind of a bonus tip. You just use regular milk. You don't have to keep the Dream Whip in the refrigerator, or you don't, you know, like the frozen tubs of stuff. It's not as expensive as heavy whipping cream, and it is real dairy. So you just use regular milk with the Dream Whip, and it's cheaper than heavy whipping cream, probably about the same price as the frozen stuff, but it doesn't take up any room in your refrigerator. So if you don't have room for tubs and tubs and tubs of Cool Whip, and you can't afford a heavy whipping cream, get the Dream Whip, and you can whip it up when you're ready to serve your pie. That's a bonus there. And I'm pretty sure I've got more than 10 tips here. Well, I think I've about covered all my tips, except for the very last one. When it's over, remember to thank God. Thank God for everybody who came. Thank God for the food. Thank God for the time that you had. Thank God for the memories that you made. Colossians 3:17 says, "And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by Him." And if we have that attitude when those little disputes and come up and little accidents happen, the way we react to them is going to determine the way everybody else reacts to them. And if we do it in Jesus' name, if we react the way Jesus would react, it's going to make the whole day go smoother. So keep God in the center. Make sure He's in your heart before you start. Pray before you start, and thank Him when you finish. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving. Share it with the people that you love. I hope you make a memory as good as our flaming oven mitt, and you eat so much you just can't hardly stand it. If you haven't already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe before you leave. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, like this delicious cream cheese cranberry dip or our delicious lemon delight pie. And until next time, remember to put God first.